Um, Almost every company is like on LinkedIn, especially if they're more like tech-based, and a lot of connections are made through LinkedIn. And college students and recent grads are the fastest growing demographic with 40 million accounts. There are more than 3 million company pages, so a lot of opportunities to get to know the hiring recruiters and hiring managers. 85% of employers say online profiles influence their hiring decisions. Um, and your LinkedIn activity impacts your Google ranking.
Me. And 40% of users check in on LinkedIn daily. So that just goes to show that LinkedIn is really good in optimizing your opportunities because so many employers are checking to see who's on it. So the first step to building a strong LinkedIn profile is to put your best foot forward. How are you going to leave the people wanting more? So to start, we recommend that you use a professional photo as your profile photo. It's highly recommended that you wear formal clothing and upload a picture with a background as well. And shortly summarize yourself. Put your 30-second elevator pitch of who you are and what you're about. This section should include and describe your professional aspirations and your current status, which most of us are undergraduate students. Describe yourself briefly and indicate what you're looking for in employment, which can differ from job to job depending on who you're reaching out to. Continuing on, it's almost like you're putting a less formal version of your resume up online. And so you want to describe your experience and your education by listing and describing all experiences. This can be volunteer work, paid, unpaid work, internships, any sort of research you've been involved in. You just want to make sure to include everything and be as detailed as possible, including times, colleges, whatever that may be. It's important to also include organizations and groups you're a part of if you don't have any work experience. Anything like a club, like a sorority, a society you're a part of. It's good to put that down because oftentimes your program could be listed and used as a reference on LinkedIn. A lot of programs are a part of LinkedIn and will be used as references to you. And speaking of references, it's good to get recommendations from whatever you're involved in to strengthen your credibility. So make strong relationships with the researchers you're included in working with, professors, your employer. It's important to make strong, genuine relationships because they will be used as your references later on. And finally, you want to include status updates, post about any sort of small win. I know over the summer, I completed a fellowship program through the UCI Law School, and I included a little post about earning my certificate and a little thank you. Always show gratitude for the opportunities you have because it's good to stay posted and stay active. That'll increase your algorithm on LinkedIn and you'll show up on many more people's timelines. So post. Include any relevant skills. Say you earned a certification over the summer or you passed a skills test. It's important to add relevant skills to your profile because that will impress and reach out to more and more employers and strengthen your chances of gaining more opportunities. So it is recommended that you include at least 5 skills And that can be anything from a sort of endorsement or certificate.
Now, step 2, building your network. So you want to connect with everyone you know, like especially your college peers, professors. Some professors are really, they do like to connect with their students, and some maybe like to keep it private. But yeah, it's important to connect with professors, anyone you know, supervisors, honestly, just anyone you interact with and your family too. And if it's someone that you don't know as well, maybe a professor, it would be nice to send a personalized note. And then write personalized connection request. Check with their contact settings first and indicate why you want to connect with them. Upload your address book from your email accounts. But be sure to only connect with people you know or have some real connection. But uploading your address book is a great way to find the people that you have interacted through your email on LinkedIn. And then step 2, or continuing, join your alumni, university, and groups. Join any groups that um, like say you work at a job, like join that group. Join the UCI group, join any alumni groups. Um, And you can reach out personally to people in the groups to build your network further. And search for warm contacts like alumni and industry members. Think about what groups they're in and join those groups and participate in those so that you're kind of being a more regular face that they see and you're kind of building rapport with them. Look up people you meet in person and connect with them, such as panelists, speakers, anyone you would like to get to know further and network with. And continuing building your network, request introductions to people you do not know, but someone in your network is connected to, and indicate why you want to connect with them, and write your connection requesting that they introduce you. But not asking for a job, just more of an introduction, getting to know someone. Maintaining your network, thank them for their help and keep them up to date. Think quality over quantity for sure when it comes to your connections. Make sure to try to interact with people, like their stuff on their posts, comment, stuff like that.
And finally, we're going to wrap this up by talking about using LinkedIn for looking for job opportunities. It's important to set out to find a position by determining what you want to do. You can begin delving into what you want to do by exploring other people's LinkedIn profiles. A lot of people list their job experiences and include little detailed summaries about what they do. And it's interesting to learn about different industries and where they're located by looking at other people's profiles. And once you do, click the jobs tabs and enter the term to search the job advertised on LinkedIn. It also suggests jobs that match your skills and your interests. So if you list that you are a self-starter, if you are creative, you can search that and find opportunities through LinkedIn and gain more information from companies that reach out to you. Then you'd begin by searching the network using the advanced search option. There's a search toolbar that you can use and look into positions that you're interested in. And it's important to reach out and ask for help too. You're never alone in the search for a job, and SARC is also here to help you with that too. Searching for a job on LinkedIn can be as simple as following a company and learning about its interests. You can check for openings on LinkedIn. A lot of times they post job openings, as well as links to third-party sites where you can fill out their applications. And you can see where people worked before and after those companies. Companies are not the end all be all. A lot of times companies open the door for you to level up and go to wherever you want to go next. And so it's important to search and follow those companies to see what doors and opportunities they have for people who advance and go further in their careers. And then you can apply through LinkedIn by attaching your profile to an application. A lot of times links are through third-party sites, but I have seen some applications done directly through LinkedIn. Do your homework before an interview. This is really important because no interview is the same. I can attest to applying for the same type of job and having completely different questions. There are sometimes overlap, but it's important to apply knowing exactly what a company is about. You want to know their mission statement and their core values, and research the company by interviewing people on LinkedIn. You can see the job network of people who've applied. If you are on LinkedIn, a lot of times companies have the network of workers and they highlight who's there so you can reach out to them and get an edge on what to expect in an interview. So it's important to contact recruiters and hiring managers directly to make yourself known.
And we just wanted to share this new program that we have through the SARC. So you can submit any professional documents like resumes, cover letters, or CVs, and you could submit them to our feedback form. So we can give you personalized feedback. And another way to get personalized feedback is through the SARC. You can schedule a peer consultation, and we can help you now that you have learned about how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. You can come to us and show us your LinkedIn profile, and we can give you those tips and pointers individually, and we can make sure it's all good. And thank you, everyone. We're gonna stay here and answer any questions you have or any comments or concerns. So you guys can just type them in the chat.
Okay, so we have a couple questions rolling in. I see something about, is there any disadvantage to looking up a company / employer before an interview? For example, does it seem invasive to them at all, or like we're cheating in any way? I think that there is no disadvantage. If anything, it's a great indicator of how ambitious and eager you are to work for a company. And I think employers take it as that too. If ever you're reaching out to a hiring manager, a company email, it's important to show that to your employer that you are set, you've done research about them, and having specific company specific questions is really impressive to an employer. So I highly recommend reaching out It's not viewed as cheating in any way. I think it's just a great way to set yourself apart.
Yeah, to add on, it definitely shows your interest and what a lot of career advice people have been giving lately is that reaching out, especially to the hiring managers and kind of building that rapport and showing how interested you are in the position is actually a really great way to set yourself apart, especially if you're applying to something that you know has a lot of applications, like perhaps like, in the business sector, like they get a lot of applications. So contacting the hiring manager really sets you apart. And someone has described it before as like above all these other applications, like yours is kind of going to be at the top because like they know your name and stuff like that, and they've already talked to you. So it's definitely not invasive, and I think it's definitely the way of the future, honestly. Okay, and then we have a question. Can we go back to the slide with the review resume link? Of course. So hopefully you can see this. It's bit.ly/prof doc review. And if you get our SARC newsletter, it'll be in there for the next coming weeks. We'll probably be having this program up for a while because I'm sure it's really helpful. And so yeah, I hope you get that. Maybe could you type the link in the chat? Okay. So we're gonna type that link in the chat just so you can see it. Um, I would say if you don't have any experience, this is another question. What if I don't have any experience? What can I put in my LinkedIn? I would say you can put your passions, what you've studied, just in school. That gives insight into what you're interested in and what you have knowledge about. Like, for example, on resumes, if you don't have much experience, you can add a relevant coursework part that shows like, okay, maybe I don't have an internship experience in this, but I have like studied it extensively through multiple courses. So I would say kind of that.
Yeah, all of what Jasper said was great. It's really great to put out your skills too. Let people know what makes you you, what sets you apart from any other applicant. Because in addition to having work experience, to having good grades, it's important to say who you are and open the door to interviews because a lot of times employers are looking for people who match their core values. And if you in any way reflect uh, their need for people who can work well with others, who are cooperative, who are imaginative, if you set out any of those characteristics about yourself, a lot of times that will attract companies and employers to you.
Yeah, so this next question, will this PowerPoint be available online? Um, we don't have it anywhere we're gonna post, but we can certainly email you. If you want, if you're comfortable with, go ahead and type your email in through the Q&A portion, so it doesn't have to like be like public through the chat. You can you can do that, but I'm sure we can also get your email from the from the registry list. So we can definitely send it to you personally.
And I see our last question right now. If you have any more questions, feel free to send them. But our last question I see is, I'm having difficulty starting to build connections. Any tips? And to that, I'd have to say there are many ways you can build connections. If you're talking academically, it is great to talk to your TAs or professors during their designated office hours. I've met so many people just through going to office hours and maybe not even having a question related to the class, but just about like, how do I get more into this work? We just had a topic about X, Y, and Z, and that's exactly what I want to do. A lot of times professors have connection to people, or they do research themselves, or have job opportunities themselves, which can open doors for you. I know it's a little scary cold calling companies and asking, do you have a job? So I highly recommend using people through things you're involved in. If you are looking to find a job in law, join a pre-law program. A lot of times they have guest speakers. If you're interested in doing something business related, you should really find a business program. And I know that we have a winter involvement fair coming up at the start of winter quarter. So that's a great way to build connections and get yourself more involved. Getting yourself involved in campus will open the door to getting involved in your community, getting involved in career work. So those are my two best options that I'd say build connections authentically and don't require you to like cold call and just talk to people that you don't know.
Okay, so if we have no further questions, I think we're going to wrap it up. If you have any other questions that you maybe didn't want to ask here, you can also shoot sark@uci.edu an email with any questions. We're also always here for peer consultations if you want more in-depth help on anything related to internships, career guidance, grad school, or research opportunities, or leadership opportunities too. So if that's it, then I think we're going to wrap this up. And thank you all for coming. We're really happy that you found this useful.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.